and how does one cope with those invisible disabilities. And with that being said, to explain a little deeper, as to dive deeper in the conversation of when you look like nothing has happened to you, like myself, you don't see any physical limitations that I'm dealing with, but I deal with a whole list of invisible disabilities. So how does one cope with that? How do you explain it to your family and loved ones that you're struggling when they're looking at you as you are the matriarch of the home, you are the mother, the wife, you are the powerhouse to the family, or the one that's you're looked at the strong one. You're struggling with the fact that you want to keep that title, but at the same time, you want your loved ones and caretakers and your family and your friends to understand that, hey, we're still struggling here. We're still going through so much. Yes, the stroke happened to me. Yes, I'm doing good. I'm recovering. I look good, but I'm still having problems, guys. And I know a lot of us don't know how to communicate that to our family and our friends. So that's what one of the main topics we were talking about today. And so many of us are dealing with that because, especially women, in a sense of being the mother to your children. Children don't look at you as having a disability, or your husband is saying, hey, wife, we need you to still perform. We need you to still perform. Listen, sexually, physically, mentally, and spiritually, in the kitchen, wherever. But you are dealing with the fact that, hey, I want to be secure and still able to perform for my husband, for my kids. And then you look at the mirror at yourself and you say, but I'm dealing with this disability. I'm dealing with the situation that my mind doesn't work as it used to, that my thought process is different, that my communication is slower, that is the next person going to judge me? Or do I have to go through explaining to the next person why I can't comprehend so fast, or explain to them why I am trying to handle this problem, but it's taking me a little while longer to come up with the answer for that. And I know I look quote unquote normal, and I'm doing the quote unquote normal because, again, as survivors always say, what is normal? So we want to take out the word normal and say, the reality of being normal is, hello. The reality of being normal is we want to have that confidence. We want to be comfortable in our skin. We want to be comfortable in the situation that we are in now. So when we say, so if you hear me say normal, and it's because I want to break down this topic that we were talking about with these invisible disabilities, understanding that I'm saying comfortable and confident is our quote unquote normal, guys. Because so many of us say that, and people that have not had a stroke or that are not stroke survivors say, hey, I understand you just want to be normal. Which in retrospect, they're trying to cope with us. And they're trying to say, I understand you want to be comfortable with your situation. I understand you want to have your confidence again, to feel secure within yourself. So that's what we're speaking of when we say quote unquote normal. But again, going back to this thing of trying to learn how to cope with those invisible disabilities when so many people don't understand that you have those. So what does that look like, guys? That is, people say to me all the time, Tracy, you had a stroke? Where? Tracy, even with breast cancer, you had that, you're still smiling. And guys, understanding, I choose to get up and smile each and every day. Before I even got diagnosed with breast cancer, we can cancel that out for right now and say, even as in we're having this conversation, a stroke. With this stroke, I choose to show up every day and smile, because I remember when the stroke happened to me, I couldn't smile. Or think about literally when I'm in church, y'all, or most of the time I'm standing up all the time. People are like, why are you always standing up? You're so antsy. Guess what? There was a time that I could not stand up. There was a time that because they said I may not walk again, I may not talk again, I was paralyzed, that I couldn't do it. So now that I have the ability to do it, this is why I stand up. Now that I have the ability to talk, this is why I talk. Because I remember when I couldn't talk. Now that I have the ability to smile, this is why I do it. Because I remember when I couldn't smile, I would be sitting in the mirror looking at myself in the camera, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this smile is so weird. It's so crooked. It's so many different things that we go through when we're looking at this, and we're going through the process of, hey, that stroke happened to us. Now what does life look like? What is me getting back to my quote unquote normal state? What is me getting back to the woman or the man or the person that I love, that I was so confident in, that I was so secure in? What does that look like? So you're going through all these trials and tribulations. You have all these thoughts flooding your mind. And then at the same time, you might have your kids say, mommy, mommy, mommy. You may have your husband say, wife, wife, wife. You may have your wife say, husband, husband, husband. And you're like, wait, huh? Yes, I look good, and thank God that I look good right now. But yo, I need a break. Yo, I can't comprehend. Yo, this too much. Yo, you don't understand. Yo, and then you used to go back and say, well, I don't quite know how to. You don't want to upset your children. You don't want to upset your husband or your wife or your spouse, whatever that is. You want to presume that strength that they are looking at to say, oh, you are a strong woman. You want to carry that. You want to carry that, so forth, but you're really struggling, y'all. So how do we deal with that? So that's what I really want to talk to y'all about. And while we're in here, if somebody wants to go live to that relates to this issue and you want to go live with me to talk more in depth of something that you're dealing with on this hand, let me know and I can bring you in. But this is what we're going to talk about that today. Is learning how to deal with those invisible disabilities. Deborah, you understand. I'm praying for you, honey, because it's serious out here. Because it's a part that we say we want to. We love to when somebody acknowledges us as, oh, we're so strong. You look so strong. You're so. I mean, I parade you for pulling through this and still smiling and still showing up for yourself every day. But then in the back of your head, you're like, if y'all really knew the struggle that I was having, y'all really knew the dark nights of me crying all day, you really knew that I want to just go in my room, I want to just go in the bathroom and close the door and just cry because I'm frustrated, because I can't think, I'm frustrated because my thought process is different, I'm frustrated because everything gets different. But to the naked eye that doesn't really know how to cope and comprehend to strokes, they're like, oh no, you girl or boy, you good. Just pick up and keep going. Or thinking about loved ones or family members to come around and they just throw everything at you as if something didn't happen. And when I say as if something didn't happen, as if you did not have a stroke. So we are thankful to the fact that we're moving and we're able to do these things that people forget we had a stroke. But the reality is we had a stroke. And the reality is in that stroke, even though we don't look at it, we've had a brain disconnect. We've had a brain disruption. And that brain disruption may have interrupted the way we think, our thought process, the way we feel, uncontrollable emotions, and just not knowing how to communicate that to people. It's just so much that we deal with, guys. So listen, it's a process that it doesn't happen overnight to say, hey, somebody's going to watch this video and say, hey, now I learn or understand. But it's about educating. It's about talking about these things and spreading the word and spreading the knowledge to loved ones, caretakers, family members to say, guess what, guys? Yes, I look good. I look like nothing happened. But the reality is I did have a stroke. Reality is I did have a brain disrupt. Reality is I'm still struggling today because as a stroke survivor, it's a lifelong journey. I'm still struggling today with looking at myself in the mirror and understanding and knowing that I don't have full mobility, knowing that something is different, knowing that something is off, understanding that I'm still trying to rebuild my confidence as a woman, still learning how to, if you went from being able to do your hair, you can't do your hair yourself. You got to go to somebody else to do your hair, getting your nails done, all those things. Because I remember even in the beginning when I still had those visible disabilities that my hand didn't open up, and my walk was crooked, my mouth was twisted, all the above. And I still kept saying, yo, I'm still leaving the house. And I was making a video, people like, wait, you're going out of the house? Yes, I'm going out of the house. And they say, well, how are you going to get dressed? I'm going to take my time and get dressed because, yes, my left hand wasn't working, so I couldn't get myself dressed as fast as I could. So it would take me a long time. Or at some point, I would have to call and ask people to come help me. Hey, y'all going out? We're going out together. So I need you to come over to the house 2 hours early to help me get dressed. So literally, that's what I had to do. And then at the same time, had to, and still to this day, I can't do my own hair because I still don't have full filling in his hand. Listen, I got to call up my people. Hey, I want my hair in a different way, a different style. I need you to come do my hair. Had to go back, like all of those things that I had to go back to say, hey, I can't do it on my own. It's okay to not be able to do it on my own. Or call up one of my homegirls. Just think about it. You about to go out, or the fellas, you about to go out with your boy and you say, yo, bro, I want to get you out the house. I understand you had a stroke, but I still want you to still enjoy life. Men, I would say y'all have it so much harder because it's that pride situation as I'm a man or I'm stronger. I want to show that strength, so you may not be so open to ask somebody for help. But I want y'all to understand that we can't do this on our own. So I'm praying that y'all find a way to be able to ask somebody for help. But seriously, like if your boys call you, say, hey, let's get out the house. You're going to have to say, yo, you know what? I do want to get out the house. Yo, come on over to the house an extra hour early and talk to them and say, dog, I want to get out the house, but me getting myself dressed ain't the same. I can't move as fast. Or you may not have that confidence to say, yo, bro, I used to be able to throw this on and feel good about myself. Can I throw this on? Or I need to change up, or you might need to throw a little extra on, or put a little jury, or Get a keep a haircut fresh, things like that to make you feel better in spite of where you at, because you may still be dealing with visible or invisible disabilities, but when you get dressed, you feel better. When you ladies, when you get your hair and your nails done, you feel better. You get somebody to do something, to put on some makeup or some. I'm a lash girl. I don't like to wear makeup. That's too much time. But things like that, fellas, having your boy come over to get you a new outfit, to put on a little something, a little clean, to put on some new tennis shoes, something like that. That's going to give you that extra boost of confidence, and you can still find ways to enjoy and live life in spite of our disabilities. But it's about us being comfortable and confident in ourselves to ask those loved ones and caretakers that say, hey, you look good, I'm so proud of you, to still push it through. Or, yo, I want to get you out the house, or I want you to come hang with me. Or, white, listen, I understand that happened to you, but you need to get back out the house and come hang with me. So guess what? If they're saying that, I do want to do that. Can you come over and help me? Because literally that's what I did, y'all. People would say, how are you doing that? Or we'll go out to a restaurant. Go out to a restaurant. And they know my hand possibly wasn't going to open up. I'm going to order because I like to eat. I definitely, and still today, I'll go and order a steak. And in the beginning, honey, I couldn't pick up a fork or knife or anything. I'm going to order it. And if I didn't have my homegirl, somebody cut up my steak, I would literally tell them, whoever I'm with, hey, I need you to slice my steak up. But then I start thinking even better. I'm going to order this steak, but before I order it, I'm going to talk to the server and say, hey, when I order this, can you have them in the back slice this up for me? Can you have it fillet? And literally, you have to take that. So we don't think about those things. You may say, I don't want anybody to look at me different. I don't want anybody to. I'm paying my money, y'all. And so, honestly, some people are too busy. They say they can't. And that's totally fine with me. That means I'm not ordering this steak, or that means I'm going to order something else I can deal with, or whoever I'm with, they're going to be like, you know what, girl, I got you, or boy, I got you. I'll slice up your steak for you. So things like that. That's what I did to step out of my uncomfortable zone to get into a level of a zone that I was comfortable to be able to get out in the streets, to be able to go out with people, to be able to find myself again, to be able to enjoy my time and my moment in spite of what happened to me. So it was just me going out, or I would even thinking about in the beginning when I still didn't have a feeling in my face and I would go eat. I got to tell everybody around me, y'all, when I'm eating, if I drop something and it's on my face, y'all got to tell me. Don't just let me sit there and say, oh, you. And it's funny because a couple times family, they'll be like, you don't feel that? I don't feel what? Y'all forgot I was paralyzed. So paralyzed. Please, do you feel your hand? I still don't have full feeling in my hand, but I understand that I was paralyzed. So while I'm eating, if I drop some food on my face, no, y'all, I don't feel it. Yes, y'all's looking at me and I still look normal, or quote unquote, like I said, normal. I still look like I'm confident and comfortable in where I am, but I don't have full food on there. So instead of you looking at me and say, Tracy, why that food on your mouth? Say, Tracy, wipe your mouth. So the next thing that I started doing without having to worry about somebody tell me, and I still do it today, y'all. While I'm eating, I always got a napkin or something in my hand. I might wipe my face 100 times in one bite because I'm just self-conscious about that thing, that me still not having full feeling or still not understanding. There may be a situation that right side totally fine. I can feel everything on that. I can feel I can feel the smallest a piece of hair on the side of my face. When you get to this left side, no, I don't have a feeling like that to be able to understand. So that's what my loved ones, caretaking, my people around me have to say, yo, Tracy. Or me taking that extra step to say, let me wipe it off and let me do things like that. I don't feel my hands. I just want to make sure I keep y'all encouraged with those that are dealing with those visible and invisible disabilities. You are not alone, but we got to find ways to be able to talk to our loved ones, our caretakers, our family members, and our friends to say, hey, yeah, I look good, but it ain't all good, y'all. It ain't all good. I have times that I could be happy one second, sad the next, and it's a process because this is a lifelong journey. Be able to communicate with your family so they understand that although we look good and although we're pushing through, we're still dealing with some things. And we just got to find the strength and find the way and the confidence to be able to talk to them about it. So I'm really praying that everybody that is dealing with, to have family members, loved ones, and cares, that we find a way to be able to communicate with them, and that they are willing to hear us out and truly listen to us, to understand that they would never truly understand us because they are not. It's just they have not dealt with that. They are not stroke survivors, and understanding that this road is hard, understanding the emotional roller coaster, understanding the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, and then just wanting to just feel comfortable and confident in where you are today, understanding that there is no time limit on when we can heal. as long as we have breath in our body, we can continue to heal. We can have to stay encouraged, and we got to keep pushing ourselves. And listen, now that my girls on here talking about, even so I know we're talking about stroke survivors, but with breast cancer survivors, y'all, because I am both breast cancer survivors, we got to stay encouraged. We got to keep pushing ourselves. We got to have faith, knowing that God has given us the gift to be breast cancer survivors. God has given us the gift to be survivors strong all the way around. So we need encouragement as well, because even though we're doing good, we survived, and we may have got through the transition of going through chemo or radiation, or got through the transition of getting rid of that cancer in the body. We're still dealing with the fact that our body was affected, that our life was changed. Something that's so prideful to us as women, to have that taken away from us, and then still have to smile, still have to show up for people, our children, our loved ones, our spouses, and things like that. So that is a struggle in itself. So definitely, so my girl Tamika, she is a breast cancer survivor. She's been doing amazing. She looks amazing. She's been pushing through. She's been recording her journey, sharing it with people, keeping people encouraged as she's going through. So I'm thankful to her, because she was encouraging me, and it's been a beautiful thing. Hey, girl, I'm so glad to see you on here, and I pray that you'll continue to heal, continue to get stronger and strengthen yourself. I'm learning to write with my right hand. And see, that's why I told you, story time. You're going to be ambidextrous when the time comes from this. So when it's all said and done, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that stroke affected my dominant side. But baby, I done stepped up a game. Now I'm ambidextrous. I could do more. So I look at everything as a positive. So instead of us focusing on the negative, yes, the stroke happened to us. Yes, the breast cancer happened to us. Okay, we're going to find some way to change that, to find peace, to find joy in that, to find love for ourselves again, because it's about regaining that confidence, regaining the strength in ourselves, and just being resilient in spite of what happened to us. Because at the end of the day, God gave us another chance. There are people that cancer took their lives. There's people that the stroke took their lives. We are survivors. And so we are survivors strong. So I'm thankful for that. That's why I choose to get up every day and smile. That's why I choose to try to keep people encouraged. And I choose to talk to people about this, because understanding that there's things I go through, as there's things you go through, but I'm choosing to live it out this way, with smiling and embracing the fact that I still have life. Yes, I'm even still going through a lot now. Actually, what's today? I'm like 7 days away from a whole nother surgery because of more complications, but it's all good. I'm still gonna keep smiling. I didn't record it live when I went through the last 2 surgeries, but I think this time I'm going to try to stay live to see, because there was a lot of stuff I cut out. But I'm going to see, and I know a lot of people be like, you can't have your phones. I'm going to figure out a way to still have it, so y'all can see this journey of this next step for another surgery that I have. But either way it goes, I'm still going to show you. We still going to show up. I'm going to still be talking to y'all live, because I want to keep y'all encouraged, because at the end of the day, y'all give me joy when I'm able to keep y'all encouraged. I'm able to smile upon y'all. I'm able to give y'all joy to keep pushing. So I'm definitely gonna be here with that. So yeah, looking forward to keep having y'all push. But again, as I said, story time, Fonnie, send me a message so I can send y'all the link to the Zoom. Oh yeah, life is hard. Story time, life is hard indeed. But I'm telling you, you have so much life ahead of you, so much, and you're gonna be able to encourage other people that's going through what you went through. Understanding, to be able to share that you had the strength, and even not every day you're going to have the strength. You can share your struggles with them to understand this is why you keep pushing, because you found a community to keep you encouraged. You found ways to find joy in spite of what you're dealing with, in spite of what you're going through.